Good morning, it's Tess, and today is tip 163. And I thought I'd talk about hypersensitivities. I'm still getting some articles from like the healthcare system from when I worked in healthcare. I know I've worked in insurance for for the biggest part of my career, and I worked in the medical malpractice area of one of the healthcare systems. And I still get some magazines, and I had one come in recently that had articles about hypersensitivity, and it kind of made me think about when I was visiting with my doc when I had appointments earlier this year, and this one article talked about how this CFO has actually been struggling this past year because hello Thomas, good to see you. So he's been talking, the CFO was talking about how he's really struggled this past year in every conversation he's been having, because he's always concerned about using the right words, afraid of making a mistake, afraid his words are going to be misunderstood, afraid, and that now he's kind of coming to a point where he's afraid that he's not making the impact that he wants to make because he's afraid of what words to use. And it's because of this hypersensitivity that's going on, and that well-intended people, that he's well-intended, has a fear of the conversations because of not knowing if he's using the right phrase today or if he's going to offend somebody. And I started thinking about this because going back to my doctor earlier this year, she pushed, even in the heat of the pandemic, for me to come in for my annual checkup. And I tried to get around it, and I didn't want to go in because it was in the heat of the pandemic and all of our numbers going up. But she pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and finally I had to go in. What I really truly think happened in that case is that she was concerned that I was gaining weight, and because she was concerned I was gaining weight, she wanted me in that office so she could address it sooner than later. And after I went in there and had some conversations with her, I think that's true. And this article about hypersensitivities made me think about that visit with her, because during that visit, she was talking to me about how she is very concerned about her patients because there's been a lot of weight gain during this time, and that how hard it is for her as a healthcare professional to give the best possible service, because if she says something to a patient that doesn't feel good, that patient may fill out a questionnaire that isn't saying a positive thing about her, and it reflects badly on her in the healthcare system because everybody's about that positive statement. And it just made me think about, like, Doc V was the first one that encouraged me to go live, but she actually encouraged me to do it too when I told her that Doc V was encouraging me to go live, because she said that the more we can help each other, the better off it's going to be because of this hypersensitivity. She's so careful with her words. She doesn't want to offend anyone. She wants to help, but everything's taken the wrong way, or no one ever sends in that questionnaire that says how wonderful a doctor was or how wonderful your service was, but we all are the first to yelp or complain when something doesn't go right. And this article about hypersensitivity and trying to find a safe space to try to talk to people and to try to assist them, it just made me think about that. I even think about on my lives sometimes when I'm talking, I hope that I'm being positive and that I don't ever offend anyone. And I thought, I'm just a person who's just sharing my journey. I can't even imagine if it was my profession or if I was a healthcare worker and my future kind of depended on what the comments coming in are. And it made me kind of think about myself too. Am I guilty of only complaining when I give feedback, or do I give positive feedback too? So these are things I'm going to kind of think about. And I'm going to think about, am I hypersensitive? Because weight loss has always been close to me and something that I've struggled with. Am I hypersensitive to it? Am I open for honest criticism, for honest feedback? Am I taking it personal and not wanting to address it? So I guess noticing that in these articles that I've been getting related to healthcare and remembering what my doctor said, I just wanted to kind of talk about, are we open for the thoughts and recommendations. And even Doc V, I know he gets a lot of pushback because people don't like what he says. Because he can do the tough love. We all know he does the tough love. So I guess what I'm going to try to do myself is, knowing that I can be hypersensitive about things that I've struggled with, I'm going to actually try to make, and maybe we can all do this in the next year, I want to try to make an effort that more often I'm going to show somebody the appreciation and thank them for something that they've done for me, instead of always feeling like the victim and being angry when I think something doesn't go right. So I guess today I just wanted to talk about, are we hypersensitive when somebody tries to offer us help? Are we truly open to receiving that help? It kind of even hit me as funny because even in this healthcare article, it was a CFO talking about it. And he was talking about it from the perspective of all areas, like whether he's dealing with employees, whether it's racial disparities, whether it's like billing issues. He was talking about all those areas of it. But it does make me realize that throughout all of it, even with the weight loss journey, am I being hypersensitive? Am I being open to the suggestions? Am I recognizing where I can get better? And I guess that's what I would hope for all of us, is that even though it may be a personal thing, even though it may not feel good, even though we may not want to admit that we're struggling, if we can stay open and let somebody offer us advice and hear what they have to say, it may just help us get to the finish line, maintaining our journey a whole lot faster. So I hope that this is helpful to you. Remember, most people have the best of intentions, and if one word hits us a little bit wrong, maybe we just need to step back and go, oh, maybe that was just me. That word didn't hit me exactly right. Because I do remember my doctor was so concerned about every single word she said, and I had lost weight. I had lost 30 pounds since, or 30 or 35 pounds since the last time I saw her, and she was still concerned about how she worded things. So I thought, I need to try to make sure that I'm giving compliments. Oh, thank you, Thomas. Because I want to make sure I'm giving compliments. I think too often we look at the negative and we're not helpful and appreciative where we could be. And it made me think about it in the healthcare system, and in whether it's accounting, billing, anything, we can all be a little bit kinder and more gentle with each other. So I hope this finds you in a place where you're feeling good about yourself, and that you're receiving things from people in a way that's constructive, supportive, and makes you feel positive, that it's never hurtful. Thank you so much, Thomas. And again, it was an article, and it just made me think about my doctor, that I could tell that it pains her that she wants to help people, but she's never sure of the words. And then when I started seeing it in print in these healthcare articles, I'm like, it's true in so many areas of our lives that we want to start helping each other, and we want to start making sure that we applaud each other for things well done, instead of always looking for the thing to be angry about. So I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day. And remember, even if there's something that's hurting a little bit, maybe step back, or as Doc V says, lean back. And is it something that is meant with love and support and encouragement, and accept it that way? And maybe then we can just heal a little bit of the hurt that's out there right now. Have a beautiful day, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.